Excited to talk to you today about my writing assignment and technical assignments that I was able to get done. So, my first writing assignment here, we're using AI to make me a lyrical genius. I think one of the greatest lyrical geniuses out there is the rapper MF Doom. And I wanted to be able to create my own personal rap verse in the style of MF Doom and then have ChatGPT make an enhanced version where it tries to better capture the author's meaning and some of his original word flow, some of his multi-syllabic wordplay that he does. And he refers to himself as the mad villain and try to incorporate that into the writing. So if you look at my original writing here, I'm going to read two of my middle stanzas. Hopefully this isn't too embarrassing. But these are the two that I wrote. Infuriated, cargo-knitted, vetted underoos, kicks under jumpsuit worn by the Luhu, left moving vertically right on target, shop shot red hot, bargain for the far hip, polyester cork coat, guardian of the century, censor me, apathy, radioactivity, radio silent, hot-headed earmuffs, suit with a press shirt, shine for the golden cuffs. And I'm going to read those exact same two stanzas with ChatGPT's version. Smuggling contraband in the cargo hold of underoos, ducking Lou Who tangled in the lasso loop, vertical lift off trajectory immaculate, shop shot red hot, hawking for the half of it, polybend trench coat stitched for the century, censor me, ha bruh, peep the radioactivity, radioactive apathy with the static, headphones muffled, thoughts stay erratic. So in comparing these two different writings here, you can really see that ChatGPT did a much job creating like a better sense of word flow, and it honestly did a better job trying to convey the original author's style and flow. Like if you look at this top bolded section here, it says like villain, stay indigilant, script flipping, grim, dramatical. These are much more words that the mad villain himself, MF Doom, would say. And he refers to himself as the mad villain, and it made references to that throughout the paper. So some of my key lessons and takeaways from this, I think it was decently hard for me to try to mimic the original author, and I was able to stay creative and make my own original sound, but it wasn't really getting at the original task of trying to interpret the author himself. And while I was able to come up with creative prompts, it really was a collaboration between me and the AI to create and make this task where I was able to like mimic the author, but still try to come up with my own original writing. And I think that's something that it really did a great job with. So if I had to think of like some of my personal strengths and struggles here, I was able to come up with a creative prompt, but I did a poor job imitating MF Doom. And I think the AI really did a great job of trying to account for that. So like the AI was pretty fast at critiquing my work. It did a much better style of mimicking MF Doom style. And I think it had a little bit of issues with trying to decipher my original writing in terms of the meaning at times. So I think an important question here to ask is this cheating? Is this still considered art? Will listeners care? Or do they care about the more of the final performance? I think my 2 cents on the matter is it's really the final product that matters. And how you get there is, I mean, a matter of like the author and the author's ability to convey that message. So it's like the rapper who's finally having that talk. And a lot of artists nowadays have ghostwriters, and I really don't visualize this as anything different. Okay, moving on to my technical assignment. So I wanted to use AI to defuse a bomb, and working with a German-speaking expert. Essentially what I'm doing here is I'm playing the video game, Keep Talking and No One Explodes. I wanted to give myself a difficult technical task, and I was going to talk to ChatGPT in English and have it translated to German, and then have a German speaker only speak in German, and have ChatGPT serve as our intermediary between the two sources. So I really wanted to see if ChatGPT had what it takes to do a technical assignment and technical task here. So if you can see in this video, I'm working with a partner here, and they only speak German, and I'm kind of giving ChatGPT its original prompt where it's supposed to serve as a translator between the two of us. So in this game, you kind of get technical tasks where you're told to do different missions and objectives. But I convey what I'm seeing in the puzzle, and the other operator is staring at a manual, and they're translating between the two of us. The last wire is yellow. Translate that to German.
Der letzte Draht ist gelb.
Gibt es einen roten Draht?
There is a red wire.
No.
Okay, got it. If you need anything else, just let me know.
Translate that to German? No.
Nein.
Okay, übersetzen Sie diese Antwort auf Englisch. Schneide den ersten Draht.
Cut the first wire.
And you can really see that we're able to work through some of these technical tasks. Now, I think another interesting section here is right here at the end. I was translating what I saw for these different hieroglyphics in the top left, and she was able to describe these complex images back to me in German.
Dann den ähnlichen.
This top right one I described as an alien ship, and she used that same wording and we were able to get that back.
And now the smiley.
And we were able to actually solve the final puzzle. And while this isn't exactly the most technical version of this experiment ever, and we're not just solving a real bomb, it really serves as an example of what you can do with these kinds of large language models. Like, frankly, it wasn't built for this task. This was a really dirty way to get it done. And we had to force the prompt to stop hallucinating by saying, hey, translate this to German. Hey, translate this to English. But while this wasn't our first iteration, we were able to get the job complete. We were able to work together and use this large language model as for a task it wasn't originally created for. I think personally I had a few issues with trying to be able to create the original prompt, and I possibly could have gotten it to hallucinate a little bit less. Maybe if I'd have known the manual a little bit more, I could have conveyed messages better and made it more simple. But I think that's kind of the beauty of this project is we didn't know exactly what we were getting into. We didn't know exactly what specialized task this AI was going to need to complete, and I was still able to get it done. I think some of the weaknesses for the AI was some of the hallucinations that were going on, but it also had strengths in actually being able to translate it. Like, we didn't tell it the words that it was going to use beforehand. It came up with it on the spot, and it was able to get the job done. And I think it's an interesting question of whether this is ready for the real world, and maybe it's not necessarily ready for this particular task, but for dirty and quick jobs that need to get done, maybe this is the best thing because you're not going to have a hyper specialized machine to solve between these complex and difficult situations. I think it's food for thought, and I think it's really interesting. Sir Classes concludes my brief.